Baseball in Philadelphia dates back to the 1830s. Last week, we took you back in time to some of Philadelphia's first baseball stadiums. This week, the nostalgia continues with a couple of historic parks that brought baseball into the 20th century. On the corner of 15th and Huntington, in the shadows of downtown Philadelphia, stood Baker Bowl, a hitter's paradise of a park that actually spawned the name Bandbox. In fact, one season, the Phillies as a team hit .315, but their pitching was so bad they finished 40 games out of first place. The first president to attend a World Series took place here, as Woodrow Wilson was the guest of honor at Game 2 of the 1915 Fall Classic. In 1923, an 11-year-old boy here at Baker Bowl caught a foul ball that went into the stands. At that time, though, police arrested him, detained him overnight before a local judge determined that the ball that boy caught was a souvenir. And from that moment on, in every ballpark in America, fans were permitted to keep a ball that went into the stands. On May 30th, 1935, fans at Baker Bowl witnessed Babe Ruth play his final major league game. However, it wasn't the send-off you might expect.
Babe Ruth had hit 3 home runs in a game the previous day. And in the first inning, he muffed a fly ball. And for some reason, it really upset him. And finally, when the inning was over, he ran off the field into the clubhouse in center field, ran across the outfield, and that was his last appearance.
Over time, the stadium was a ticking time bomb. In 1903, a wooden balcony in left field collapsed, creating what many described as a grisly and gruesome sight. Fans plunged some 30 feet to their death. Black Saturday, as it's still known, remains Philadelphia's deadliest sports disaster, which saw 12 people die and over 230 more injured. Here at 21st and Lehigh, you'll find a church. Back in the day, it was the cathedral-like structure better known as Shibe Park and later renamed Connie Mack Stadium. It was the first ballpark in the nation built from steel and concrete.
After it was built, 10 other ballparks were built of steel and concrete. So it sort of set a precedent.
Here on 20th Street, they once built bleachers on the tops of these row homes so fans could watch games for free. That was until Connie Mack decided to build a 34-foot-high fence to block their view.
They call it the spite wall.
The installation of lights sparked the American League's first night game in May 16 of 1939. And the largest baseball crowd ever here witnessed the Dodgers with Jackie Robinson, who just a month earlier had broken baseball's color barrier. On the final day in 1941, Red Sox Hall of Famer Ted Williams went 6 for 8 in a doubleheader at Shibe to become baseball's last 400 hitter. And it was here where Philadelphia fans earned their reputation, the original Boo Birds. In 1949, their actions were so vicious, they threw bottles and littered the field for 15 minutes, forcing the Phillies to forfeit their game. One guy actually hit the umpire with a tomato. So Phillies fans, despite the criticism, you're much more behaved and refined than 70 years ago. And that brings us back here to the sports complex in the shadows of Citizens Bank Park. Many of us remember our first game at Veterans Stadium, where the Phillies called home for 33 seasons. The structure itself was demolished in 2005, but did you know there are bronze markers for home plate, the pitcher's rubber, and all 3 bases in the parking lot? Check it out next time you're at the corner of Broad and Pattison. For Comcast Sportsnet, I'm John Borick.